So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about why it's important for you to have a seasoned real estate agent working with you, whether you're a wholesaler or a real estate investor or both. All right. You want to have a seasoned real estate agent on your team, or you want to be a seasoned real estate agent. And it doesn't always mean you're a seasoned real estate agent who clearly understands investing just because you have a real estate license. I know a lot of people who are quote unquote investors with real estate licenses, and they know nothing about the data, the analytics, the metrics, the underwriting principles for real estate investment properties. Now, before I get into the details, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you have already, thank you so very kindly. But you can also hit the notification bell so that as we drop new videos, you'll be notified. Now, let's get into this. Why is it so important for you to have a seasoned real estate agent working with you on your team? Which, by the way, I'm fortunate because my wife is a seasoned real estate agent. She taught me a lot about comping properties. She taught me a lot about this word right here. Well, it's a acronym, CMA, that's short for comparative market analysis. So what happens is, in a traditional situation, if you have a property that you want to sell and you hire a real estate agent, competent real estate agent, seasoned real estate agent to sell your property, one of the first things that the real estate agent is going to do is conduct a CMA. They're going to comp the property. All right. That's what we call it in the investing world. They're going to comp the property. And what that means is they're going to look at the comparative values of other properties in the proximity, okay, of that home. They're going to look in the proximity of that home to see what other properties comparative to that or similar to that sold for. All right. Now, based on what area you're in, we're here in the state of Georgia. My wife, she has access as an agent to the MLS system. They have Georgia MLS. They have FMLS, First Multiple Listing Services, Georgia Multiple Listing Services. So as agents, they're able to go on there. They're able to put the information of this property in their system. They can run the comps, and they're going to see a list of homes that are similar to this home that sold and what they sold for to help determine what the potential value of this home is. This is a professional comp or a professional CMA. This is critical because what happens is most real estate investors, what we do is we see the house, and amateurs are just notorious for this. We see the house, all right? We look at what it's going to cost for us to buy it, what it's going to cost for us to fix it, and what the ARV is. That's all we're thinking about, what the ARV is. Or we might consider what the rent rate is. The problem with that is we're not always comping properties based on a professional CMA. Well, number one is because we don't have access to these platforms that real estate agents and appraisers have access to. Okay. Well, we're probably not going to pay an appraiser $400, $500, $600, $700 for an appraisal every time we're comping properties or we're doing due diligence on a property. This is why it is so important to have a real estate agent on your team, even if you got to pay them a little bit. Or if your spouse, like my spouse, is a real estate agent, or they have the capacity to be one, or maybe you're one, but you want to make sure you have someone that can do this on your team. I tell you now, as a real estate investor, knowing how to comp properties as an agent, because my wife, who's a 20-something year veteran agent, taught me how to comp properties from an agent's perspective, it has totally made my underwriting abilities go through the roof. I'm such an asset to other investors when it comes to underwriting deals, partly because of what my wife has taught me and what I've learned watching her do what she does as a real estate agent. So when you're able to get an accurate CMA done on that property, it's going to help you determine what the real after repair value is, because you know in the event that property is fixed up, what it could sell for because you know comparative properties. Now, again, there are other websites like the Zillows and the Redfins and the Trulias and others that exist today that a professional, polished real estate investor can actually use to get a real close calculation outside of being on a real estate agent's site. But again, I would just say, if you're not that polished and professional, you haven't done hundreds or thousands of these underwriting activities, you want to make sure you have that agent because they're going to help you determine what the after repair value is or what that property can be resold for. And I have here GR because that would assume if you buy it, fix it, and rent it and not sell it, it's not going to be sold. So that means the after repair value is not as important, even though you want to know. But GR, I use that for gross rent. I want to know what is the rent rate? What can I rent this particular property for? And again, one of the reasons why I'm emphasizing the importance of using a real estate agent or at least vetting these deals through an agent before you put a lot of money, time, and effort behind these deals is because I've seen so many wholesalers and real estate investors miscalculate their CMA because they don't know how to do it. They miscalculate their investor comping, and because they miscalculated, they had an inaccurate ARV and they had an inaccurate gross rent or rent rate. And when it came time for them to either resell the property or to rent the property, they were disappointed. I don't want that to be your case. So if you need any resources, we have real estate investor meetups, we have courses, we have workshops, we have coaching and mentorship. We're helping our students and our mentees become greater investors because they're learning these terms, these concepts, these principles, and they're putting them to practice, and they're watching people like me do it at the highest level, getting the optimum results that we can get when we know exactly what we're doing. So I'll see you in the next video.